Dear students, it is the fifth video about week 9 and we are learning definitions. Dear students, our last definition was unfamiliar words for the unfamiliar things, that sometimes the phenomena are highly scientific and the writers don't find the word fit for that phenomena. Therefore, they derive the words from the other languages to explain that subject matter. For example, perpendicular to the surface, dielectric, non-conductor. Fine. So you have seen that the phenomena is often challenging and the word is also unfamiliar. Dear students, now we come to the other types of the definitions, and they are called, we divide the definition into the further two types: informal definitions, formal sentence definitions, and the extended or amplified definitions. Three levels. Once again, I let you me informal definition, formal sentence definition, or extended definition. What is an informal definition? Informal definition means when some person expresses some word, concept, theory, formula, scientific term into a very simple manner, over simple manner, in a word, in a phrase, or in a simple clause. That is called informal definition. For example, being the students of the computer sciences, let's discuss a phenomenon that you are coming out of your home and your younger brother, for example, he is in a ninth class, and he asks you, brother, tell me what is networking? And you simply say, it is the connection of the computers. Obviously, you have explained it in one word, in a very simple short fragment. This is called informal definition. Clear? So sometime when we give non-technical layman language in one sentence, in one simple manner, is called informal definition. But when you reach to your office and some of the colleagues ask you, gentlemen, what is a networking? Then you explain it with that networking is a well-designed logical connection of the machines uh, with the server to manipulate the data. Now, what difference you find between connections of the computers and the definition just read about, that it is a well-planned logical connection created among the various machines with the main server to manipulate the data. This definition, you find it is extended to a sentence. Fine. And in this definition, we have we have explained each and every capacity for expression. Clear? This is called formal sentence definition. Therefore, in academia, it is not the matriculation and FSC that where the students of the sciences often learned about they had to cram lots of definitions, clear, in from chemistry, maths, physics, or so on. In technical writer, we should be able to express and write definitions ourselves. Well, formal sentence definitions first were defined by the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. It is one of the leading ancient mathematician, logician, or philosopher. He gave a principle, that the principle is divided into species, genus, and differentia. That whatever the object you are going to define, it is called subject. First give the name. First give the name of that subject. For example, glass in which we drink water. So first you write glass. Then you genus. Genus is called family. Clear? A glass is a pot. Glass is a pot. Mean it is the family's pottery, bartan. Differentia is called the distinct qualities like its type, structure, setting, its material, everything that is associated with that object. And these traits and qualities make it different from the other similar other objects. The distinct qualities, they should be explained, then it is called differentia. When you apply all these things, it is called formal sentence definition based on the logic. Therefore, we say a glass is a pot, a crystal glass is a pot made up of crystal. It is in cylindric shape and quite refined, available in various sizes, designed in various sizes and colors, is used to hold liquids. Now, this definition of glass is different from different from the definition of the lens, because both apparently are the similar thing. Both are crystals, but that crystal is different, and the crystal or the lens which is fixed in the eye is different. Therefore, definition of one thing are applied only on one thing. For example, memory is a common term which is used, but when you say RAM and you say ROM, you say cache or you say cloud, both or everyone is different. Got it? Therefore, formal sentence definition is very important for the technical writers to explain the scientific phenomena. The students, now let's have an example of the formal sentence outline. Informal definition, like bandwidth, the capacity of a networked connection. It is informal definition. The capacity of a networked connection. It is informal definition, just in a phrase. Move to the next formal sentence definition. Bandwidth, the capacity of a network connection. Bandwidth determines how much data can be sent along the networked wires. Bandwidth is particularly important for an internet connection since greater bandwidth also means faster downloads. This is the formal definition that almost every aspect has been covered. Well, dear students, in certain cases, in scientific world, it is very complex and comprehensive. And sometimes the phenomena we use is beyond the scope of a simple word. That phenomena cannot be explained well in one word, in a sentence. Therefore, we have to use a paragraph or more explanation. That explanation is called amplified definition. That's it. In some certain cases, if the writer feels that the formal sentence definition is not adequate and it leaves many of the questions unanswered, then an extended or amplified definition may be used. This definition contains the details like physical appearance of the instrument or device, comparisons or contrast of it with some familiar instruments or device, cause and effect relationship, examples and instances, and further definitions if some unfamiliar term or words are used in the definition itself. It facilitates the reader and leaves no room for ambiguity or misunderstanding. Here it is something which has divided that when some phenomena is so complex and you want to clear the concept, therefore you have to add more details like physical appearance of that instrument, comparison with some other similar, contrast the difference between the other objects, clear cause and effects relationship, that why that how that thing happened and why something happened, examples and instances, further definitions if it is familiar. For example, let me discuss a phenomena, a shock, 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 jhatka or jerks. It's a very common word, but when you say what is the difference between electric shock and psychological shock? Clear? So being a writer, being a scientist, being a biologist, being a doctor, when some person is explaining the psychological shock, then he cannot explain. He will be in the deficiency of the words. He need more words, more examples, more comparisons and other things. And similar thing happens in computer sciences also. Cloud computing. For example, we mentioned in the previous, cloud computing is a similar thing that you have to explain it in detail. Black hole. They are not simple words. They are the theories. Clear? Therefore, the writer always need the more examples and definitions. Let's find the same thing, bandwidth, that sometimes writers have to write a full paragraph to explain. The capacity of a network connection, bandwidth determines how much data can be sent along the network wires. Bandwidth is particularly important for an internet connection. Since greater bandwidth also means faster downloads, think of bandwidth as being similar to the measuring capacity of a pipe to deliver water to tap. Here you see comparison. Okay, example, comparison with a bandwidth mean flow of the data and the flow of the water. Example of a fat pipe can carry more water to tap than a thin pipe. Similarly, a high bandwidth connection can deliver more information at a faster rate to a computer. Bandwidth is measured in megabytes per second, MBs. A slow connection might be around 2 or 3 MBs, while a fast connection will be more like 750 or 70 MBs. Domestic broadband connections vary in speed depending upon a number of factors, such as, in some circumstances, your geographical location in relation to the telephone exchange, as well as what type of connection you have and what package you have signed up for with your ISP. Fine. Dear students, this is a difference between extended definition. So we take one example of bandwidth in informal manner, then the formal sentence, and it is the extended definition, and I'm sure that you have learned it. Now, placing the definition in technical reports, that where should we place? Clear? It is very often quite difficult to decide where to place the definitions. But there are 3 major possibilities for placing the definitions. In the text, between the parentheses, that sometimes the writers use parentheses and they write the definition. For example, network. networking, and they within their definition they write a connection of the computers with the servers. Okay, footnotes are used, that the numbers, the difficult word terms, and they are numbered, and within the footnotes there are definitions, or in the glossary. Glossary is a specific section which is placed in the introduction, and some rare reports they are also placed in the end of the clear report. It depends on which format of the report we are following. Dear students, Alhamdulillah, we have a detailed discussion about the definitions, and previously we have talked about the outlines. I'm sure you have learned all this and you would definitely apply to improve your writing. Stay blessed. Thank you very much.